guys, it's Joey and these are some custom pagan prayer beads. These are the Priestess prayer beads and we've gone back to the old format for videoing for the prayer beads specifically, and only for the prayer beads specifically, for a number of reasons which I'll cover before we talk about the beads in particular. So the prayer beads I think are best served from a visual perspective and are better seen like this whilst they're imbuing on the amethyst. You get a better feel for the beads this way. It's not me sort of holding them up and trying to show you and them being quite far away from the camera. And additionally, with it coming up to Samhain, Halloween, everything is very, very busy right now, so there is an element of that I wanted to get this video done, and if I had to spend more time setting up than if I just videoed the beads themselves, it gets pushed back and it becomes a problem. And I really wanted to get these done and talk about the meanings of the particular crystals that are involved, and it's not much fun viewing if I'm looking at a resource, reading that resource out to you. So for example, I use the Crystal Bible as one of the crystal resources, and then I talk about my feelings and reasonings for choosing that crystal. And I like giving a standardised meaning for crystals from the books because I think it helps jog my memory a bit, helps jog everybody else's memory a bit, and gives you a jumping off point if you want to go get the book that I have read from. So we're going with this format for prayer beads. The other products will continue in the new format with discussing different elements and angles and how to incorporate them into your magical life and so on and so forth. But I think for prayer beads specifically, we're going to stick with this format. So as you can hopefully see, there are two moon sigils, charms, symbols on the end, and they're actually not joined. So the prayer beads will hang either side, so you can work your whole way around them. And the reason for that is that it actually forms the triple moon symbol. And the priestess energies that were requested were for walking your own path, being a priestess, connecting with the cycles, connecting with deity, the in-between spaces. There's a strong twilight energy working throughout as requested. And there was a little bit of a blue element requested as well, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. But first and foremost, you have the waning and the waxing moon symbol here, and then the prayer beads make a circle for the full moon. So it covers all the cycles of the lunar creation, of being a priestess in that respect, of following those deep mysteries. It connects to a kind of tarot priestess image of drawing down the moon and connecting to the deep mysteries as one walks along the path. We then have a total of 5 different prayer bead types, and that 5 represents the elements: earth, air, fire and water and spirit, and makes the 5 points of the pentacle. So you have that element of magic brought into the priestess path as well. The specific beads are pink tourmaline, which there are only 2, and we'll talk about that when we get onto it. Then there is, it's going to be interesting actually, because there is Angelite. Now the Angelite, we've crossed over, well, these are both Angelite here. There's also rainbow moonstone, and the Angelite were not as blue as I had hoped, and we'll talk more about that plus something else in a minute. And then we have rainbow moonstone. So we have tourmaline, pink tourmaline, Angelite, rainbow moonstone, amethyst and blue goldstone. So blue goldstone, we might as well get off the bat, is a man-made crystal, and I was in 2 minds whether to include it. And originally I wasn't going to include it because some people are funny about these sorts of crystals, and originally I ordered Iolite instead because I wanted that deeper blue to be present within these prayer beads. And the Iolite beads came and they were incredibly disappointing. They were not deep blue as had been advertised. I was very, very cross with them, and I had to actually contact the lady who's beads these are and say, I'm not happy with these, I'm going to order something else and work from there. So I went with the blue goldstone, which are a man-made stone, but they provided the depth of colour that I required. And with the Angelite having come back, I kind of shifted away from my first thought about using goldstone, and then the highlight being disappointing. I was like, right, well, we'll just go with our first feeling about it and include the goldstone. There is only 2 pink tourmalines at the beginning. The Angelite also separates the 3 Amethyst, Rainbow Moonstone and Goldstone. So there are 3 by 3 by 3 of the Amethyst, Rainbow Moonstone and Goldstone, and that's for the cycles, the number 9 being a goddess number, 3 by 3 being a magical number, life, death and rebirth, the cycles, maiden, mother, crone, all good things coming in 3s, and the Angelite provides the barrier between. And the pink tourmaline, there are only 2, and they provide the gateway at the beginning and the end of the journey. Now I'm going to talk to you about what the meanings of pink tourmaline are in a minute, but there is only 2 for a number of reasons. The first reason I've already mentioned. They create a gateway that way. It marks quite clearly the beginning and the end of the prayer beads, the beginning and the end of a particular session of sitting and meditating. But also, pink tourmaline are quite expensive as beads go, and it would have shot the price of the beads up a long way to have used much more of that bead within the actual prayer beads, and I wanted to keep them a reasonable price point. So pink tourmaline in particular is a love and emotional healing. It's the heart chakra and it is the element of water. So from the Book of Stones, pink tourmaline supports emotional healing and the activation of the heart chakra. It stimulates feelings of joy, happiness and relaxation. It's a powerful calming stone and can calm the emotions and the physical body. A partner to black tourmaline in relieving stress and diffusing worry or obsessive behaviour. In meditation, pink tourmaline can aid in clearing and purifying the emotional body. It can help identify emotional patterns no longer aligned with one's spiritual growth, and can assist in changing those patterns to reflect a higher approach to relationships and communication. The affirmation given here: my heart is healed and whole and I radiate the energies of love. So it's a really wonderful crystal to activate the heart chakra, to open yourself up to the journey, the path walking and so on and so forth. And then we have the Angelite, and I'm going to try really, really hard not to start channeling practical magic, because I keep wanting to go Angelo, Angelo, Angelo. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I'm a strange little thing. Right. Where are you, Angelite? There we are. Angelite is for the throat chakra, as well as the third eye chakra and the crown chakra, and the element of wind. Keywords: angelic communication, gentle self-expression, serenity and expanded awareness. Angelite is a strong wind element stone. Like the other wind element allies, it stimulates the third eye and crown chakras. Very good for punctuation marks along one's journey, if you think about it. If you think about how the chakras of the crown and the throat can be used as punctuation within one's journey. For example, speech is the primary, the voice of the third chakra, and we punctuate our lives with speech. And the pauses in between speaking are the moments in which the crown chakra takes over and we ingest, in a way, we take in information, we seek things and we meditate. So I liked having Angelite for those reasons, for the kind of punctuation marks between the 3 by 3, because we were either talking about something to internalize it or we're meditating and taking it in through our crown chakra. It facilitates connection with guides and angels. So it doesn't have to be angels specifically. It tends to get, you know, angels is the first thing people think about because it's called Angelite. But, you know, you can connect to your spirit guides using Angelite quite readily, quite easily, and therefore it makes it an ideal stone as well to connect to guides when you are walking along the priestess path in order to access higher self-information and seek answers to questions and get help and those sorts of things. It makes an excellent stone to use when divine intervention is called for. It's soothing to the emotional body, lending a lightness of being during difficult times. A stone of tranquility, it invokes a sense of inner peace when it's worn or used in meditation. Can be used to bring peace to situations where conflict or ego posturing is making progress difficult. Assists in gentle communication and compassionate speech. It's an excellent stone when one needs to learn to temper one's words in consideration of others. It soothes the throat chakra rather than necessarily activating it. This can be very helpful in situations where excessive chatter or wordiness can get in the way of understanding. Affirmation: I am always surrounded by love and benevolence, and I hearken to the inner promptings of my companions, higher companions. So it makes a nice punctuation stone, and it what I'm trying to say is, in terms of the life, death and rebirth that the other three represent in 3 by 3 by 3, then you have that punctuation, that break, that pause, that taking in and listening to guides and listening to others in moments of pausing between self-discovery. So then we have the goldstone, which, as I mentioned, is a man-made crystal, but given the shockingness of the iolite. So blue goldstone connects one with the divine and provides one with wisdom, energy and courage, assisting with learning and communication. It teaches one to see the light at the end of the darkness, and everything is a source of energy and vibration. It's a good stone for empaths, especially those that are hypersensitive. Vibrates the frequencies of new beginnings and balance associated with the throat chakra. It encourages us to accept who we are, to express authenticity and no longer deny our truth. It's associated with the metaphysical properties of copper, heart and third eye and crown chakra, fire and earth, Sagittarius, Uranus, and so on and so forth. It's quite protective as well. So then we have rainbow moonstone. Is the rainbow? Yes, the rainbow moonstone was the second. Rainbow moonstone is my favourite moonstone, and we will grab the meanings, although I could probably tell you them. Rainbow moonstone acts as a prism that diffuses energy throughout the aura. It assists in clearing the psychic senses and mind, bringing the frequency of joy to one's energy field. A positive protection stone, helps to deflect negativity. It's particularly good for psychic protection and maintaining clarity of energy whilst working on an intuitive level. Rainbow moonstone can help ease the emotional body as well as easing emotional trauma. Emanates great vitality, life voice, I have no idea what this accent is, and exuberant joy. Inner peace, harmony, emotional balance, strength, purification and transformation of negativity, as well as psychic protection. Rainbow moonstone seems to vibrate far more powerfully than the other varieties of moonstone, and one gets a more noticeable dose of beneficial energies. In addition, rainbow moonstone can facilitate the alignment and activation of all chakras, helping one to maintain groundedness and centeredness. They are a powerful healer of the emotional body. It also doesn't mention here, never mind, it does mention here, rainbow moonstones are aligned with the energies of the goddess and can help one to successfully empower the feminine aspect of the self, as well as, of course, communing with the goddess, or the divine feminine aspect of the god, as well as the energies of spirits within nature. Basically, rainbow moonstone is the business. I love rainbow moonstone. It's one of my absolute favourite crystals. It, along with labradorite, I love the shinies. I love the shimmers. I love the flashes of insight that they provide. I think they are wonderful for clarity, but they're also mysterious, and whilst they illuminate things, it's very much to do with the hidden mysteries and the hidden truths, and illuminating things that perhaps you wouldn't see if you were just walking through the world on a mundane level. And when you want to engage with priestess energies, that's working and walking through the world in a magical sense, finding your magical reason for being, your purpose, and connecting to the world around you and goddess and god and spirits within nature, and taking all of that illumination and magic into oneself. Finally, we have amethyst. It's actually chevron amethyst, to which I bought both of the amethysts before I was happy with it. I bought regular amethyst first and then was like, no, that's not dark enough, I need the chevron. I was so fussy with these beads, more so than perhaps normally. Okay. Amethyst is perhaps one of the first stones to which most people are attracted when beginning their work, because of its beautiful purple light combined with its sweet high energies. It makes it a necessary crystal in any lightworker's toolbox. Amethyst is cardinal wind element stone. Gosh, there's a lot of wind element in here. That's very interesting. Winds of change, winds of breath. Very interesting. I'm getting a very strong image of a priestess by night, and look at there's a strong wind blowing her hair back. That's interesting. The wind element stimulates the mind, the intuitive self, and psychic abilities, and one's connection to the spiritual realms. Okay, well in that case the wind element is perfect for what I wanted it for. Good, I like when things fall into place. Amethyst embodies all of these properties and making it a powerful tool for spiritual expansion and cognitive understanding. It's a classic meditational tool. It allows one to easily enter a meditational state and maintain conscious awareness while in communication with the divine. The vibration of amethyst stimulates the higher mind and brain function because of its ability to stimulate the third eye, crown and etheric chakras. It's a natural choice for psychic opening and intuitive work. Its inherent high frequency acts as a barrier against lower energies, making it a valuable protective tool as well, particularly when engaging in psychic or intuitive work. Amethyst energy builds a cocoon of light around one's aura, creating a powerful resonant field that helps one remain clear and centered while staying open to spiritual direction and intuitive information. So basically it's wonderful. And the affirmation, I am purified, uplifted and protected through my connection with the divine. And I think that rounds off the connecting to the energy of the priestess quite well, if I do say so myself. And there's now a ladybird outside the window, so I think we're on the right track. They're still around, the crazy ladybirds, which you know all about if you've been following me on Instagram or on the Facebooks. They are funny little things. Anyway, so amethyst then makes up the rear, if you like. It makes up the final three. So I hope you can see here you've got 3 of the goldstone, 3 of the rainbow moonstone, and then 3 of the chevrony amethyst down here. Let's get a little bit closer so you can have a little, there we go. And you can see the pink tourmaline here as well. These are actually Angelite. The Angelite are a different colour to the rainbow moonstone when you get your hands on them. I don't know how well it's going to show up on the camera. There is some blue flashes within the rainbow moonstone, and the Angelite is more opaque. So you can tell when you've got them in your hands. I don't know how well it will show on camera. I was hoping the Angelite was going to be a little bit more blue than they were, but they were still wonderful in terms of energy, and they still look nice, so they have been utilised. Some of them look a bit more blue. Can you see this one? Yeah, this one here looks a bit more blue. So the amethyst brings up the rear, like I was saying before I got completely distracted by ladybirds. And is that final component, that connecting to the divine component, as well as opening up the psychic senses. It's very, very empowering in terms of opening up the third eye in particular, receiving divine messages, but it keeps one protected. And so all along this journey, all these crystals kind of support the journey to being a priestess. There is an emotional balance, there is an emotional support, there is keeping one safe, there is keeping one connected to one's divine God or goddess, as well as keeping one connected to one's spirit guides in order to not veer off the path, not be misled, not receive messages that aren't beneficial for one's priestess path, which is basically the overall meaning of the prayer beads and was the requested energy for the prayer beads to assist one in one's priestess path working. It's also about the in-between spaces, as I mentioned. There's a great deal of blue and purple, which are two of my favourite colours. I love radiating between blue and purple energy lights, if you like, energy spirit work. I love the two. I also enjoy veering into the bluey greens of turquoise as well, but for this, that's more healing, the turquoise. For this, with it being the in-betweeny space, the twilight spaces, the deep mysteries, the priestess energies, it's very much about stepping across the veil and seeking wisdom, seeking knowledge, seeking to know who one is and who one's higher self is, and receiving messages from the universe. It has a divinational feel to it, a sort of questioning and reasoning and exploring one's path and figuring out who one is in the in-between spaces, who one is in the great scheme of things, who one is along the priestess path. So I hope you like it. And we'll flick out a bit. There we go. So you can see the lovely moons again. So I hope that all makes sense. Apologies, I guess, for not being on camera for this particular video. I am running around like crazy getting everything done for Halloween orders, and I've got videos to try and do later if I manage that. I don't know if I'm going to manage today. I'm trying to catch up and make sure everybody's Halloween stuff is out the door today or tomorrow. And yeah, I think that's it. Many blessings, and catch you on the flip side.